Hello, Ectosage here on the Sage channel, and today we are blessed with another update to Medieval Engineers. Now, when I first heard about this update, I thought it was just going to be a little bit of damage tweaking again, but it's a little bit more than that. So starting off, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my UI. First thing you'll notice is down at the bottom, there are now 9 different hotbars you can switch between. This is something I've wanted for quite some time, so I'm really excited to have it. It's going to take me a while to choose what I want on each one, but you can see you can now spread out stuff all over all of them. So I have Shift 8 to switch to the 8th one, and I have all of the interior decoration stuff there, and I can swap between them all and sort them out. I'm not exactly happy with how I haven't laid them out right now, but I can tweak that all the time. So that's pretty damn awesome. Second, I believe I had it on, Shift 9. They've changed damage a little tiny bit. So let's go ahead and hit this. And now you can see it's done. It's put this, it doesn't quite look right on this, but it's put a little decal that's now projected on there. I believe it's based on the face that you hit. So let's try to aim at the top. Oh, and we've broken it. But the basic idea there is it's actually demonstrating that it has received damage. And the reason this looks so weird right now is because they only have one damage decal that they're projecting onto it. But you can see it seems like these are even breaking in slightly more in a more of an efficient manner. Shame that just despawned right in front of us. Go ahead there. Well, maybe it is just breaking at random spots a bit. But let's go over here, and it makes a bit more sense now if we were to hit this. So let's take the pickaxe and hit onto there, and you see now it actually looks like an impact mark. It's a bit too large for a small pickaxe, but it's, you know, they only got one decal right now. They'll spread it out. So there you go. You can see it keeps laying in these decals to indicate damage is being done. Now, do these fade over time? I'm not sure. I'd hope not. That way you can see that stuff has been damaged, and I'd hope you'd be able to go back there and patch it once survival's done. But for now, you can just whack away and leave a bunch of scratches and dents and cracks in the side of a structure. Now, there is a bit of a, well, not really an issue, a bit of something that needs to be noted is the fact that you cannot destroy something with this unless you want to sit here clicking for maybe 1,000 swings. Because, of course, a real castle, if you were to go ahead and take a hammer to it, it would take quite some time to do some serious damage. Now, ideally, this would have some sort of system where you can chip away small pieces. Because with the pickaxe, I should theoretically be able to mine my way through a castle wall, but no such luck with that right now. Also, I'd like to point out that it looks like there's a maximum number of decals that you can have under one spot, because you see the edges changing a bit. That's as it's shifting in and out decals. But overall, it looks like you can have quite a few of these spread about to show damage. Now, let me also go ahead and switch to the medium throwing weapon, and there you go. You can see I can charge this up all the way and release it, and the structures are a bit more sturdy now, it seems. So, fully charged, small one, or I said medium, but yeah, small one. Well, actually, it is medium, isn't it? You can see that it now isn't just going to instantly knock through something. Now, it will knock through it a lot faster than, let's say, that pickaxe I was using, or a hammer, because I can switch to a hammer and start swinging here, and you can see it's not breaking through the wall instantaneously anymore. But if you go ahead and switch to the large projectile, my number 3 button as I have it, well, that'll still crack through things pretty quickly. So let's just tap it once and drop it there. And you can see, once again, it's just leaving marks. Oh, but there you go. It is a bit more powerful, so I can, once again, just take this out. So that's not all they did today. I'm just going to knock this building down, because everyone always likes to see stuff fall, I'm assuming. That piece looks fickle, but yeah, there we go, it's fallen. And here we go. Any second now, the whole building, I suspect, shall collapse. It's sort of collapsing from a strange point there. Oh, there we go. I would expect it just to snap there, but it sort of fell from elsewhere. Oh, God. And look at that one fire bucket. I love the way it was just rolling along there. Okay, so there you go. A small change to damage there. Unfortunately, I don't think we can put damage decals on pieces once they've fallen. It would be nice to be able to break them up. Ideally, you know, they want to be able to recycle this wreckage here so you can build new castles out of the wreckage. So I'm suspecting in the future maybe they'll let you break it up. But let's go ahead and head over to... Actually, let's do a quick test right now, shall we? And let's get an axe. And let's go ahead and take this to a tree and see if this has a little damage thing on it now. Nope. I just knocked it over. Yeah. So, no such luck on damage things, but we're cutting down trees again. We don't need to do it. So let's head over to that castle. Alrighty, so here we are at that castle. It's a pretty nice castle, same as the one we were just at, but we're not going to deal with the castle. What we're going to deal with is this huge setup here. Now, this is a relatively simple catapult here, except for I have 3 of these torsion things here. Now, why am I showing you this? Well, it's because they've added this new block right here. It's a new barrel drum. So if I do, I believe it was Shift 7, you can see I have the barrel drum on my hotbar. It's the bog standard one. It's just you use the middle mouse button scroll to now switch between 2 different types. And the new one has these little cogs on the side. They looks like little pegs, basically. You press T on this, and you see they pop out. Now, what happened there? Well, the catapult went free, because these were no longer holding it in place. So we can go ahead and plant those back in there, and now do this and pull it over. Now, why didn't this go flipping all the way around to match an angle where it's shooting out like this, where the torsion spring would have it? Well, that's because if we were to go ahead and aim at this and press K on the keyboard, you can see we have a minimum and maximum length, and that's how long the rope that comes out of this can be. And you can even do set current. So what we can do is that rope went all the way out to 9.1 meters. Well, let's see how far that actually went, shall we? So if we were to load this up and see where it fires off to, and I need to get my little grabby hands things, manipulation tool, before I press T on this, or else the little ball will just fall. Let's load this up, drop it right in there with left mouse click, and now let's release this. And you can see it fired it, and that hit pretty close to the castle. In fact, let's go over and just look at that in Spectator. Looks like it hit here, and its pieces made it to here. So let's go ahead, head back to our body with F6, and that went all the way out to 8.1 before it released. Now, unfortunately, you can't do a control left click and change this number. So in Space Ninjas, a lot of those, you control left click, a little screen pops when you type in a number. I would love to be able to do that, but they don't let you do that here. What you can do, though, is go ahead and start pulling it back a little bit. So let's pull it back. Oh, right. It's not working because I have to lock this back in there before it'll actually start working. So now I've done that, we can do that and start pulling it back a little bit more. A little hard to see where I'm standing. Maybe I should do it from up here? Nope, that's even harder to see. So now it's going to be releasing at that angle. It's going to go up to that point and stop, basically. So now what I can do is press K on that and do set current. Now, mind you, if you just press escape at this point, it's not going to save that setting. You have to make sure that if you change any of these settings here, you go ahead and actually click OK on that, or else it is not going to change them. Like, I can press that up to there and press K again, nothing happens, escape. We open it up again, that number is stayed, or it's not changed. It stayed the same as it was before. So just keep that in mind. I've messed myself up a fair few times forgetting to do that. So there we go, hold this back here. Then you go up here once again with our manipulation tool, press T, and left click the drop. And once again, we're going to go ahead and fire this, and as soon as we do, we're going to switch to our spectator cam. There we go. And is it going to make it this time? Little tiny bit farther. So you can theoretically tweak the distances based on that. I think this castle might be a bit too far away from my little dinky and strange catapult here, but one thing we can do is tweak these a little bit more. So I'm just really quickly going to do that. If you don't know how I've set these up, I haven't just, when this is all the way up, attached them to it and then pulled this back, because it would be a bit too much for it to pull back everything, including these. What I have done, though, is gone ahead, and when it was at, I think, about this angle, I attached them. So I'm going to go ahead and detach this one here. And you see that one didn't really move. So let's go ahead and pull this back till we see tension on the one on the left, shall we? And remember, we've got to relock it. Pull this back. That should be a little bit more. Do we have tension on the one in the left, though? That'll tell us if it's actually going to a point where we're going to get more power from hooking these up. That should be it. I think that's it. Is that a little bit? Let's see. Let's go ahead and hook this up and see if that makes a difference, shall we? And if it doesn't, too bad. You can always try again, as I said. So, once again, up here, manipulation tool, all that good stuff. Ooh, I thought that one just fell for a second. Remember, if you go up, oh no. Well, great, that one got broke. Also, again, damage decal on the ground, indicating that I did do a little bit of damage to the ground, but of course not enough to actually shatter it up. That would be terrible if that did happen. Let's go ahead and load that in there gently. There we go. And let's go ahead and fire this again. And my spectator view was not in the right spot. Not much closer, was it? So I don't think we actually tweaked that. Let me go ahead and do some more tweaking, shall I? Off screen. There we go. So now you can see these are actually aiming over a little bit more. So that should give us a tiny bit more oomph. Let's again switch to that. Press. Okay, we run out of cannonballs in there. We'll have to actually go over here. I call them cannonballs. They're not really cannonballs. They're just what do you call these? Oh god, don't collapse everything. I'm doing this because it's often easier to get them actually in the correct port instead of just spawning them in. So let's do that, and once again, left click, there we are. And, ooh, I don't know why that's spinning on its own, that's scary. Let's go ahead and release this, shall we? Away it goes, switch to the F8, and we overshot it. So yeah, I'd say I got more power in there, wouldn't you? So yeah, tweaking that has helped. Now we can go ahead and actually tweak the barrel so it'll release at a different point. So that overshot, let's see what happens if we allow it to carry itself on a little bit more. So that was at a rope at, let's see, let's actually go ahead and see. A rope at 6.5 meters. Well, let's go ahead and set that to, what do you say, 7 meters. So let's go ahead, once again, lock that, draw this back. There we are. And of course, I have the rope set so it can't go any closer, any farther down, or else it would actually hit this and cause issues here. Let's go ahead and we will actually use this time because I don't want to have to run to that pit. And there we go. You can see it's a little harder just to make sure it stays in there. So once that's in, let's go ahead and once again fire it. Switch over to our spectator cam, and we overshot it again. Did we hit in the same spot? Well, I got a good way of finding out, don't I? Let's go ahead and make sure we still have... Well, we don't actually need a specific toolbar active. Let's just go ahead and find a flag to put in wherever it falls, shall we? Or even better, a torch. That's a bit easier because it doesn't have to go in a specific spot in the flags. You don't have to worry about if I did accidentally spawn an NPC in, them running there. So let's go ahead, tweak this again by locking it, bringing it in a little bit closer, and there we go. Take you, and now it's, oh, look at that. See what I said about pressing escape? You have to make sure you actually press escape, because I didn't press escape, or not press escape, I did press escape, instead of actually just clicking OK, apparently. So, just remember that. You gotta actually click that, or else you forget. Or else you don't save your settings, I mean, it forgets. So, there we go. There we go, and firing, cannonball free, cannonball just over it. Same spot, though. Dagnabbit. So it's not making too much of a difference. Let's go ahead and tweak this again. Let's set it to... Oh, we know 9 is about as far as it really should go. But let's do 8.8. You see it released it a bit more. Maybe that'll carry over a bit. If not, we're going to have to just try to shoot it almost straight up in the air and get it to go over and come down where we want it. So pulling this back once again. Loading it up once again. Unfortunately, you can't just like click on it with this active to load it. There we are. Whew. I hate it when it bounces like that. I always afraid it's going to fall on something. And then let it go. And where... Why does my camera... Ah! Aha! We had a hit finally. So now we know it's going to hit. And I know why my camera keeps resetting here, because I keep flying it back here every time. So there we go. Now we know we have a hit. We've been able to dial it in using pretty much nothing but just this little block right here. Instead of having to switch wires out and a billion other things, now we can just fire it from right here pretty much. And let's see, I have to back up a little bit to place it. So finicky. And let's fire it again. And go to spectator again. It should land right here in the middle pretty much. Oh! A little bit of variation, but I'd say it did its job well. And so there you go. Even though the hand tools don't really work anymore at knocking stuff down, you can definitely use your catapults and take it out. So there we have it. Woo! That is something else, ain't it? Let's actually go ahead and tweak it a little bit more. Let's drop this. I'm actually enjoying this a fair bit, aren't I? Let's drop it to 9.6, so maybe it'll actually aim a little bit lower, believe it or not. Bring this in again. Come on, can I aim at it? I also noticed my character stopped doing his animation for that. I'm absolutely fine with that because it can be so very distracting. Back up a little bit to load this. There we are. Although I would have more stuff in there, but I've reached max inventory space for it pretty quick. And fire that. Away it goes. And, oh, right through the opening. Our tweaks didn't make much of a difference. Or, did I forget? No, I actually did press it. So let's go ahead and set this to 11 this time. Well, that surely shouldn't work, but I guess maybe they'll slip out of this. So let's just see what happens, shall we? And in the past, this would have taken ages and ages to tweak, but now it's not taking too long at all. So what I thought was going to be a relatively basic update today with some damage tweaks turned out to be something that's actually keeping me pretty damn interested. Because for once, it's easy to tweak these catapults. So let's once again fire. Oh, I missed. Fire! And away it goes, and over it goes. So I think we've reached the point where I can't actually aim it too much farther down unless I did some really tiny tweaks. So just one last thing. Let's go ahead and tweak it down to a silly, stupid number like 5.4. What did I do? That was the max. Why did that go like crazy bananas? Okay. Why are you crazy bananas? Oh, because because that wasn't locked? Why did you do that? Are you broken? You're fine. Why did you do that? Oh, dear God. Well, it is medieval engineers. Could not expect it all to go well. Okay. Ooh, that worries me. That should be going on its own. Okay, well, I guess maybe we're not going to shoot it straight up. We've lost it. It's lost its mind, it's lost its marbles. Yeah, that's it. I want to see this thing shoot straight up and down. Reloading. Oh, that was a mistake. Well, I tried to put another one of those in there and thought maybe I would use its catapult to go ahead and it's catapult, it's spool to go ahead and pull the catapult back a bit more, but that, of course, didn't happen. Oh, boy. Alright, so I've gone ahead, reset those to what I think they were about at. Let's go ahead and grab one of these. I fired a few shots of test. Let's drop it in there. Much safer it feels to drop it in there. And let's go ahead and see what we have this set to. 8.6, that looks okay. That looks alright. Make sure we click OK. Launch. Do we actually hit? Do we actually hit? We hit! Thank the maker. We finally got it tuned in so we can actually hit this thing. So, yeah, once you got your little springs there set up to a point where you can actually pull this all the way back, because I actually had those springs set up in such a way that it's taken me about 10 minutes to set this up so it'll actually come all the way down again. Because if you have these set at such a point where they have too much pull, you won't actually be able to get the arm all the way down, so you won't be able to actually fire it. But now that we do, we can actually just simply go ahead, load this up, and tweak where we want to hit using that instead of the other thing. So let's go ahead and position our little spectator right here so we can see some more damage hits. And go ahead and release. F8, and incoming cannonball. Oh, it actually hit a little bit higher that time and did some serious damage. So, yeah, I actually ended up tweaking that so it's not going straight up, so it's actually going and hitting the castle, which I think is a bit more impressive. If you'd like to see it go straight up, well, we can, of course, do that really lickety-split quick. Now, pull that down. Let's crouch so we can actually reach that, shall we? Unfortunately, the camera is actually swaying up and down now. There we go, got that there. Let's go ahead and set this so... Well, maybe we should do it while... No, let's do it while it's here. Set this to... Now let's just do it this way, shall we? Since the last time we set the numbers, it gave us some trouble. Let's set it to like right there. And do the set current for max length. Click OK. And now we'll actually load this up if we have any left. We do. That was stupid. I didn't pull it all the way down first. Let's go ahead and aim at this and press T. That way it goes back in there. Let's pull this down. There we go. We're not actually doing the spin animation, which is so hard to aim with. Now let's go ahead and... Damn it. I did Shift T, which spews everything out. There we go. Place that in there, and let's go ahead and fire this. And, yeah, straight up didn't really help. But if it was still overpowered, that might have helped. Anyway, guys, that's it. You can see I, glitches it all. Actually, got a bit distracted and just had some fun with that. It's a fantastic update, being able to tweak those things. And the game's rope stability has gotten a lot better since last time I tweaked with multiples of these. Mind you, if you do overpower them, this will either not go back all the way, or it'll go back all the way and be a jittering mesh. So I'll leave you with a bit of footage of things going wrong while I was testing. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.